next song about anything at all.
Welcome. Yes.
To Dreaming in Paradox, the show where we revel in a good conversation.
Yes.
Right? Something like that.
With John
It sounded
Olsen
better in my head.
and Jose Venuto.
That's correct.
That is correct.
All right, so Tuesday. Today we're going to...
We have a topic for today. We have a topic.
So this will be probably... Most days we'll do something like this, where we have sort of a starter topic.
This is kind of what the show will look like.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
So our first topic today is Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
For those who don't know, Christopher Nolan is a director of films. He has done such
moving
films
pictures
as Memento.
Yes.
Following. Everybody's favorite Christopher Nolan film.
Haven't seen it.
Nobody's seen it. Sorry, Chris. Nobody's seen it. I did attempt to watch Following. It's his first film. He shot it on like weekends. It's in black and white. I attempted to watch it. It's dreadfully slow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I need to give it another chance.
Then he did Memento.
Then he did Memento.
And then he did like everything
and
else.
And then he did Insomnia. He's actually one of the directors, aside from Following, I've seen all his films. He's one of the few directors I can say that about.
Insomnia. Is that the one with Robin Williams?
Yeah, Robin Williams is the bad guy.
And Al Pacino is the
good guy.
Oh, he's
in
responsible.
Alaska, and
I know,
like
I've seen it.
Day all the time.
I've seen it. It was slow, yes.
He also did couple of films about Batman.
He did.
A few people saw them.
A couple, small films.
He
did also these obscure films that nobody knows about called Inception.
Yes.
And that
Art
other
House.
one, it's like, yeah, it's not popular. And then this other one that he did, what was the name? Interstellar.
Which should have been called
Gravity.
Gravity.
It should have been, but it was taken.
Yeah,
it was taken.
Swooped right out from under.
I know. He should have done what
the movie just begs to be called Gravity throughout.
He should have done what's the name of this guy? The guy who did the first Terminator. What's like James Cameron. What James Cameron did when he was doing Avatar, and then M. Night Shyamalan was doing also Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then he just basically he was like, we can both call this movie Avatar, so I'm gonna give you money, so you call yours The Last Airbender, and
he didn't give him any money. He just got there first.
Oh, maybe or something. But that's the point.
Like
Christopher Nolan should have done that. Should have said like, Gravity is the name of my film.
Yeah.
But no, it was called Interstellar.
Yeah,
Interstellar. What does Interstellar?
Don't ask.
Means.
It's interstar. It's between
stars.
Yeah.
So between.
So like, interstellar travel is travel between stars.
Between stars.
Yes.
Not galaxies or anything like
that. That's intergalactic, which also would have been a better name. Yes,
because that's what they did actually.
A sequel?
Maybe a sequel. Yes.
Sequel intergalactic.
No.
But they already went intergalactic. They just skipped right past Interstellar and went straight to Intergalactic.
But that's what we need to do. He made a movie called Interstellar where he has people traveling to another galaxy. Now he should make a movie called Intergalactical or something, or Intergalaxy, and then make that a movie traveling to another star.
So and the only movie we left out is The Prestige, which is also a really good film.
Oh, The Prestige.
Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman.
Yes. Where Tesla.
Dueling magicians and
where Tesla was like a magician. It was more like he was doing things with electricity. That's like
it's a wizard.
Yes.
In that movie.
He's the wizard. Yes, Tesla. He was better than Edison. Human being.
This is a topic.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
We're talking about Christopher Nolan.
Just like I was.
We'll get to Tesla and Edison one day.
Let me just get closer to you.
Yeah.
So I'm at the edge of the frame, and it's like.
Yeah, you don't want to be right out there. Yeah, get cozy.
Nice.
So I have a theory.
You have a theory.
I have
about Christopher Nolan.
About his movies. One of the things I love about Christopher Nolan's movies is that they
I'm gonna get comfortable.
You get comfortable.
I'm gonna get comfortable. Like
they are incredibly open to interpretation. In particular, Inception is probably the most open to interpretation movie that's ever been made. You can take it at face value.
I mean,
you can read into it like a rabbit hole. Like it just goes down and down and down.
So see, like you got me up until you said like ever. I go like there must be something out there that is more open to interpretation.
Because Inception is sort of designed to be interpretable. Like you can really, you can treat it how you want.
True.
You can make it the movie that you want.
No, I see that point.
Right?
I see that point.
I don't think it's a hard movie to follow. A lot of people, I heard this when it came out, had trouble following it. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's hard to follow.
I don't think so either.
At all. But it is very much open to interpretation.
Forrest Gump is difficult to follow, but that's another thing.
No, it's not.
And it's so open to interpretation.
It's really, yeah, I mean, kind of. So I have two theories that I want to get out. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure which to start with. The bigger,
start with the first one.
The bigger rabbit hole is Inception. So I feel like maybe I should start with Interstellar because
it's a less
of a rabbit hole. It's less of a journey.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Just right into it. I want to know what you're talking about.
So after seeing Interstellar.
Oh wait. Let me make a hiatus like pretty fast. We should.
Hiatus?
Like it's a moment.
A
parenthesis. Is not a hiatus?
No, hiatus is like a vacation. Oh. Not a vacation, but like a break.
Got it. Well, maybe that's what I want to say is that the topics that we're going to talk about, this is original. Like I haven't heard what he's going to say about this.
That's true. We haven't discussed this.
We haven't discussed
before.
that. Like this is not something that we thought about it and prepared. Like he thought about the topic he wants to bring and he has ideas. He's going to expose it to me. And then in a truthful, original manner, this will be my first impression of that idea and my first thoughts of that idea.
We want to be genuinely
But we're not basically, we're not repeating a conversation that we already had. We're just having a genuinely new conversation. And through the development of this show, through all the weeks that we were developing this show, we talk a lot. We get into this a lot, and there were so many times since we had the idea to make this show that we just save that topic for the show. Save that topic for the show.
So everything, it's like a disease.
Yes, everything you're seeing right now, it's genuinely new to us too. So I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify that for people. Yes, I'm done.
So after seeing Interstellar, it occurred to me that possibly Christopher Nolan could be a creationist.
A creationist.
A creationist.
Above all things.
Above all things.
You're taking a science fiction, space traveling, and then I'm interested in it.
You might ask why.
Of course I ask why.
It's because the movie doesn't contradict in any way creationism. It is a movie about interstellar travel and, a lot of high science ideas that manages not to spit in the face of creationism.
But in which sense?
So in the sense that spoilers, by the way, big ass spoilers for
it's already like
for
a year
all of the Christopher Nolan movies, essentially.
Okay, got it.
So I probably won't spoil The Prestige, so you can watch that one safely.
But, I mean, I guess that it's more relevant that you don't spoil this other.
But we will be spoiling Interstellar.
Just talk freely about it.
We will be spoiling Inception. That's the warning.
Got it.
Now I'm not going to worry about it. So, in Interstellar, he goes into the black hole, right?
Yeah.
He skirts the line of the black hole, Gargantua.
Yeah.
And he is helped by something.
Beings.
And Matthew McConaughey says the line, something to the effect of, "It's us, Merv."
Yes.
It's us.
Yes, correct. Which I have already something to say about that. But yeah, we helped us. Future we. The evolution of we. Exactly.
Helped us.
Exactly.
Now, he's not really qualified to make that call. I just want to put that out, first and foremost. But because he tells us that, the movie doesn't contradict creationism. They never find alien life.
They don't find. Yeah,
This is
not aliens.
It is.
This is something that came and helped us.
Right. So the idea that, and this isn't creationism in the sense that the Earth is only 4,000 years old, yada yada. This is creationism in the sense that we as humans are unique in the universe. That we are unique. That God created us, and therefore, life on Earth
is unique.
Because right now science can't disprove it.
But what, unique in the sense that there is no other humanoid life in the universe, or
Any way you take it.
okay, so
Anyway,
that there is
so
no
there's-
other life in the universe, like
That
what is
too.
it? Like, oh,
Any way you
interesting,
take it.
interesting.
Because
so in that sense,
because here's the thing: as soon as we find life on another planet,
Mm-hmm.
concrete evidence of life,
yes,
creationism goes out the window. Because
true.
we're not unique. We are a
Intelligent
statistical
life.
anomaly at that point, and statistically, scientists believe there has to be other life in the universe. Creationists believe that we are unique and that God created us alone.
Yes.
Amongst all the life in the universe.
Okay, as sentient beings, not as life.
As life.
As life. So
there's no other life.
So are you saying that if we find plants in another planet, will that throw creationism out of the equation?
No. We have to find life on those planets.
Well,
Living things, organisms, bacteria.
Well, I'm talking about
anything.
like a plant.
Yeah.
Like a plant will
Yeah.
throw out of creation out
Because
of the
then-
window. Then anything else could have
Then
evolved
it's-
to us.
Yeah, because then
To be
that
something
life
like-
could evolve into anything.
Okay,
right?
so the concept of life, but
That is like the
we have
concrete proof of evolution.
but we have already found that, like there's meteorites
No.
or something like that, that
There's
they have
nothing with-
bacteria.
there's no evidence.
There's bacteria that survives in
living
this Really?
materials. There's
Not
nothing.
even in
there's
the water?
There's things that we feel like could habitate life.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the stuff is too far away, honestly.
True.
Like our ability to see far is improving, but it's
But look, this is the thing.
a process.
This is the thing. I'm gonna tell you something. You remind me of something that I had a conversation because you're talking about the probability of life.
But my theory
Mm-hmm.
is that it is not necessarily the future we that helped out Matthew McConaughey.
That's how he saw it.
That's how he saw it. That was his interpretation of events. He's not qualified to make that call. He doesn't know that it's not aliens. He doesn't.
Okay.
My theory is that Gargantua, the
Yes.
black hole itself, is sentient. That it is an alien. And that its way of communicating with us is
Gravity.
through gravity. Like it is a fifth dimensional being outside of time. And think about it. A black hole is what? It's like the densest thing ever.
Yes.
Right? It's created by collapsing stars.
Yes.
And there's so much pressure and there's so much gravity that it could, in theory, create consciousness. It could just be a brain unlike anything we've seen before.
Entire universe would be a brain.
Yeah.
For all we
It could. But in the context of Interstellar, I think that Gargantua is the thing that's looking around the universe. It's exploring. And it went, oh, people.
People.
Oh, here, I'll make a hole.
I like that. I like that.
It said, I'll make a hole, and if they can get here, and they can get to the other planets that are closer to me, then we'll grow a little plant.
No, but this is.
I think that it was an alien with
They knew. No.
not altruistic, but good motives.
No,
that
I
was
know.
like, I want to help this thing that looks like it's dying. I think I can transplant it. And
That's what actually that
Yeah.
thing did. It transplanted.
yeah, it took seeds.
But I like how certain things that
A,
you wanted
that's
to
your
make
point
sense
B.
make sense, because they said it wasn't there. It just appeared. It appeared at a point in which we could notice. That's what they said.
Yeah.
It appeared at a moment we could notice.
appeared in front of Jupiter.
And that already gives you the sense that there's something intelligent put it there, because it was its objective for us to see it
So
in
odd
a
that an anomaly
certain
would be
exactly
a-
in a certain span of time in which we could develop the technology to get there and then know why it's there. So that is why we know whatever helped them is sentient. Now,
it's a good piece of evidence.
It's a good piece of evidence because it's not a random event. There is some sort of thing. I like how they explain that. But from there to creation, like the fact of eliminating because this is the thing. Remember, I get like I need to fix that. But anyway, the thing that gets me is that he says in part of the movie, he said, they didn't choose me, they chose her. They choose the daughter. He's just the messenger.
Yeah.
But she's the one who's supposed to give the message, because he said eventually, like, this is the interesting thing.
Conveniently obscure
It's a
message.
science fiction movie based around the love between family, the love between a father and a daughter,
Right.
and how that love transcends time, space, or whatever. And then it was such a strong force that these beings saw it and said, these are the people who could not only understand our message, but use it in the way that we needed to save humankind. But then at the same time...
So it could be humans. It could be like
but that
future evolution of humans. But it could also be alien.
But that's...
Either way, it is alien.
What I mean is that if he was able to figure out that his connection to his daughter was measurable by these beings,
right,
to the point that he figured out they chose her to give the message, so I think that qualifies him to make an assumption and say, this is just us from the future banking on an energy that we do not quantify yet. He was just
assuming that because he was reaching out to his kin, that the creature would reach out to him for the same reason.
Yes.
Because
in a similar connection,
yeah,
in a connection of love,
but
for
that's
example.
an assumption.
It is an assumption.
And I don't think he's qualified to make that call.
I don't know.
He says it so definitively, and I was like, I don't buy it.
Well,
you don't know.
The thing that boggles me...
You don't know. That's like saying... And that's like making any kind of a statement of something you don't know.
But this is the thing that boggles me. It's... I mean, and I understand that you could just throw back in my face the fact that this is a being of the fifth dimension. It doesn't abide by the rule of time. But... And I raise my finger on the but.
Okay.
If this is beings from the future who are supposed to be us, who are about to be extinct because we just killed the planet, how could this being be us if in the normal course of history without their existence, like it doesn't make sense.
It's a paradox.
It's a paradox.
Yeah.
It's exactly what is happening. It's like either like who could like how could these people be us if we are about to die? Because otherwise, when was the first moment in time in which this cycle was broken? It's one thing to live
outside of time. It's another thing to go back and change
Yes,
time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. This is basically beings going back in time,
That's why I think
saving
it's more
ourselves.
plausible that it's alien.
Yes. I mean, that...
And then it's
that
alien in such a sense that, like, we can't even fathom what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is life, but it's not the way that we categorize and identify life.
But then wouldn't that just mean the opposite of what you're saying? Like if you think that what these beings are is not humans, then they are the proof of other life. So at the end of the day, then he's not a creationist.
Yeah, except that Matthew McConaughey clearly is, right? Like
Matthew McConaughey,
his character,
clearly is a creationist. Clearly, you mean the person of the character?
Like, the movie was sort of cleverly written so as not to step on anybody's toes.
Mm-hmm.
No religious organization can watch the movie and go, "This is heretical."
Heretical. I like that. I like that.
You know, like they can't say this is blasphemous because it doesn't contradict any of
it doesn't
any of the
openly
bigger
say
rules. Right?
it doesn't openly say anything.
Because you can say, you know, you can get mad at E.T. for that, but not Interstellar.
So you're saying that the fact that Matthew McConaughey's character says aloud, "This is us from the future," is Christopher Nolan's statement that we are the only thing in the universe that has life. So therefore, ergo,
yeah, because
we are as creationism.
Even in the movie, they go to visit Matt Damon's planet, and he gets all excited about the fact that there's potentially life on this planet. And then we find out it was a lie.
It's a lie.
It's lying.
It's a lie. Good Will Hunting was lying.
He lied to us.
Yes.
Why is he always the person you got to rescue? He's always in need of rescue.
Yeah, right? he's like in The Martian.
The Martian.
Martian. He keeps going to space and getting trapped in planets, and then having people spend resources to go get him. Yeah. It's not a good idea.
But also the planet that Anne Hathaway's at in her last scene, where she's like conveniently single now.
Yes.
That's just a bunch of rocks. We don't see trees. We don't see any signs of life. We just know that the planets are habitable. Not that any of them have...
They have an atmosphere that we can...
Yeah, they have
the
right ingredients for life to grow. But they are, for all appearances that we see in the movie, they're all barren.
Barren.
So it conveniently doesn't contradict any... It doesn't step on any toes.
Yeah, because none of these planets had life. They had water. They had elements.
Yeah, they had elements.
But they did not have life
per
se. Interesting.
It is interesting.
So that's why you say that the fact that he refused to show other life, but human life in this movie, and the only other sign of intelligence was coming from what supposedly was humans, is why you say
it makes the film. It gives it sort of a creationism
approach.
Yeah.
Could it be that
underlying message?
Could it be that instead of
hidden messages?
No, could it be that he did not want it to make it an issue of creationism, but not that he's making a statement about creationism?
No, and that's what I think. I think that it's more designed not to offend than it is to make a statement.
Interesting.
But in doing that, it kind of makes a statement.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, at this point, like if it's a yes and no, if it's a yes and no, black and white question, then you need to have a side. You can't be in the middle because there's no middle. Yeah. There's no like, I don't know if I'm a creationist or a revolutionist. Like, then what are you? Because like one or two.
But this one leaves it open. You know, it's an open book. You can interpret it how you will. And I do, and I interpret it opposite to how Matthew McConaughey interprets it.
I was brought to the revelation, and I'm gonna take like another hiatus here, but it's related though. But it's not, parentheses. I was brought to the revelation a couple of days or weeks ago of the fact that I believe in evolution.
Okay.
I believe in evolution, but it's important to hear the fact that I believe in evolution, which meant that up until I saw something not long ago, which I think it was like Cosmos. I was watching the show Cosmos, and then they were explaining evolution step by step in a way that I understood it. Then I figured out that I was believing in evolution out of faith. Because I never really understand it.
Oh, before that you just had like blind belief.
Exactly, it was a blind. It was no different than.
Then you saw the evidence. You went.
Then I saw the evidence. I go like, no, I understood the evidence.
Okay.
Because the evidence is all over around us. But then I have somebody explain it to a level in which I was able to understand it without having to go into anthropology and stuff like. And then it's like, then I figured out. Like then my wife pointed out, it's like, so you were a person that believed in evolution out of faith. I go like, that is it's an oxymoron, but it's an interesting way of saying, sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do not understand something and we still believe in it. That is the concept of faith. It's it's very human to just like choose to be. Sometimes we like it.
Yeah, you do it.
It's interesting.
I mean, you believe those you trust.
Exactly. You
believe, right? And if those you trust tell you evolution, you'll believe in evolution before you get the evidence.
But that's the thing. The fact that I cannot find.
But it's the same the other way. You know,
yes.
They tell you, no, evolution's not real. You're going to believe whoever tells you that first, right?
I don't.
And then you see the evidence, and then you make an informed decision.
I don't think they contradict each other. I think they want to contradict each other only because they have been fighting for like centuries.
I think the real thing that's dumb about creationism is the idea that you have to stick to the script of like the Earth is only a few thousand years old.
Yeah.
Because to me, creationism is a logical argument you can have in the sense that like God created life on the earth.
Yeah.
And man. And dinosaur.
Yes.
He created all that stuff.
Yes.
You can say that. And you can call that creationism.
Yes.
And that was God's choice. Because right now there's nothing that contradicts that. There isn't. But there is very much evidence that contradicts the idea that the earth is only 6,000 years old, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever
yeah, it's like one of those. It's either 4,000 BC or it's 4,000 years old. I think it's 4,000 years old. That is like it's like, well, the story says only this many years, so we have to stick to it. Like that's just kind of blindly following a story. Whereas like the other interpretation of creationism is just that like God created everybody. That holds more water, I think.
I don't think
you have to pick your battles, and I think that the 4,000-year battle is not when you're going to win.
Except for that.
Bill Nye will prove you wrong all day long.
Except for that point, which is completely logical, which is there's proof out there.
Yeah.
I mean, unless our interpretations of the proof might be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist in that kind of sense, but should we like? I want to say like this is long, and I think we need to cut.
No. You want to end the episode?
Not end the episode. Just make a hiatus.
Yeah.
Cut the camera. Come back, and I'll say what I want to say.
What's our time?
Yeah.
So then we're back.
Back into
seamless. Hold on.
back
Can we
into-
find our positions? I was like this. All right. Yeah, and we're back.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
Let's move on to
where was
Inception.
I? No, but I have something that I
I
have
thought
to say.
you said you wanted to cut us off.
No. I
'Cause
said that we're gonna do the cut, and then
And
I
then
was
come back to Inception.
and then come back to
Fine,
what I have
fine.
to say because it was a
I
long
told
thing.
you Inception was
Pretty
a
fast.
deeper rabbit hole.
Pretty fast. You can take it on. You take it
It's
on.
a two-part.
I believe, and the fact that I cannot find another word but the word believe to explain what I choose to believe, decide, or choose to like.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a very that. I believe that science does not necessarily renders creationism not real. I mean, the fact.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is that like there is like the argument without the 4,000-year-old caveat holds water.
It's saying, for example, look, this is my perspective. The fact that the universe abide by certain scientific rules and had a certain span of time in which it happened does not render impossible that a superior being will have made it happen. Yeah. You know, God is not if God is something that actually exists, I prefer to believe that it's not just a magician, it's a very clever being that knows how to intertwine the things of life to create something with a purpose and a science behind it. Like
we're getting into a
rule.
whole other.
But but that's the point. Like one thing.
Because I do have stuff to say on this, but then we'll never get to Inception.
Let's make these. What did I say the other day? Like boop. We'll put a pin in it. We'll put it like right here on the screen.
I'm gonna write it down right now.
Boop. Put a pin on it.
All right.
And then one day
you're doing that.
We'll come back to the pin.
I'm not doing that effect.
Boop. I'm gonna do the boop boop.
Okay. Yeah. Careful.
Put a pin.
I'll just put God.
Yeah, just put like, oh man, that's too broad.
God talk.
Just put God and creation.
All right, we'll
watch
this episode.
We'll find
now.
the pin. Yeah, we'll find the pin.
Okay.
But let's move to Inception.
Okay. So my Inception theory is twofold.
It's what?
It's twofold. There's two parts.
Okay, got it.
Two parts.
That's what I understood you were saying.
You fold it twice.
Got it.
Twofold. It's an expression.
I didn't know that expression.
Threefold.
I'm gonna start using it.
Fourfold.
I
However
know,
many folds you want.
I know other expressions, but
yeah, we'll see if you use it right.
You can't fold something more than 8 times. You know that?
I do know that, but that's perfectly in half. You can fold something as many times as you want, but you can't fold more than 8 times in half.
In half.
Don't be a Snapple cap.
Right? Good.
My problem with the Snapple Facts, by the way, is that they're all super vague. They don't give you enough of the details. They'll say something like, you can't fold a piece of paper more than 8 times. I'm like, bullshit. Yes, you can.
Yes,
you seen origami? Fold like 20 times.
Like, yes.
In half.
In half. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. That's where it gets too thick.
I
tried it with a piece of paper.
Wide.
I tried it with a piece of paper almost this thick. Yeah. And it's like, it just...
No, it's because his wide becomes long, it becomes bigger than his... something like that. It's just like, it's impossible to... The girth becomes bigger than that, and then you can't fold it. Too thick. I know. Try it. Fold something in half.
If you can get 9, we'll give you
yeah, I mean, you'll break the fabric of the universe, and everything will just collapse.
Yeah, good job.
Good job. Like, oh, man.
Break the universe.
Such an ass.
Right?
What?
What are you doing? So here we go. I'm going to tell you a little story.
Yes, tell me a little story.
Right? It's story time. So there was once this couple. There was Dom, which I'm guessing is short for Dominic, and there was
Marion Cotillard.
Marion Cotillard. No, her name was Mel.
Okay, Mel.
There's Dom and Mel. Or Cobb.
Dom and Mel.
Cobb, right? They call him Cobb.
Cobb and Mel.
Cobb and Mel.
Cobb and Mel.
And they were inventors. They invented
things.
A machine in which they could
go into
lucid dream perfectly, right?
Lucid
and they could not only lucid dream, they could share. They could dream together. They created a machine that would allow us to connect to ourselves so we could then share together and be perfectly aware, right?
I've seen these before.
Inception.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about Inception.
Right? Okay, I'm telling you. It is about Inception. So they invent this machine.
Got it.
And then one day they're like, this thing is the best. It's the best, and we can do whatever we want in it. So they take some sleeping pills, way too many unsafe levels of sleeping pills.
Okay.
And they take a dirt nap. They just take not a dirt nap. They don't die. They take a nap on the machine, and they go all the way to the bottom of their subconscious, right?
Gotcha.
Where, according to Nolan, time slows down, and it stretches out to a point where it might as well be infinite. It's the equivalent of thousands of years.
Because he's using an accelerated amount of brain power.
Right.
So your perception of time,
your perception of time slows way down. And so they're down there together.
Yes.
Loving it.
Yes.
And they're building things. And they're like architects. And we're having fun. Playing games. Probably boning all the time. Right? I'm sure dream sex has to be great.
Yeah.
It must be. It's good.
Yeah.
It's dream sex.
It's dream.
Yes. It's dream sex. It's whatever you want. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
It might have got weird a couple of times. But probably a lot. Dreams are hard to control.
Like anime Japanese weird or like
maybe
I
don't know. It depends on them.
Anime Japanese
it's all
weird,
about
like
them.
It doesn't get more weird than that.
So it doesn't. So then 500 years goes by.
500.
500, the equivalent of 500 years goes by.
Okay.
And they still haven't woken up. And all of a sudden the idea of eternity it just becomes too much.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
It's like, oh, what did we get ourselves into?
And so Cobb, he's like, he just gets bored.
After 500 years?
After 500 years, he gets bored.
Of boning?
He's bored of boning, bored of building, bored of his wife.
500 years?
He's tired of her.
Like
he's like,
it's okay.
We lasted longer than any couple has ever lasted.
Yes, exactly.
Now I'm sick of you.
Exactly.
He's like, I just can't.
You can't
stand you.
I can't. And you leave it.
So then he does something which he shouldn't have done.
Oh, which is
he incepts Mel, right?
Okay.
He sets the little thing spinning, and he tells her, he convinces her that your world is no longer real. Now they're in so deep. In the structure of the movie, if you're in deep enough, right, where they go 2 levels deep, they say, or we'll start at the top. At the top, you can wake up simply by shooting somebody. Oh, I died.
Yes.
I wake up.
Yeah.
If you're 2 levels down and you get shot, what happens?
You just stay dead.
You fall deeper.
Oh, you fall deeper. Then it's like worse.
It's worse.
So eventually you get
So
trapped.
they're all the way at the bottom, and what does he do? He's like, if we kill ourselves, we'll wake up. That's what he tells her. That's what he convinces her is real.
Oh, so
But they're all the way at the bottom. There is no waking up. You don't wake up until it's time to wake up, until those sleeping pills wear off. But because you're so far down, time is just going to keep on stretching out. So they're just trapped. They are trapped down there, and they're trapped together. And he convinces her to kill herself. And not only to kill herself, to keep killing herself. Every time she wakes up, she's still convinced that this isn't real. And she's right. It's not real.
Okay.
But she thinks that she can wake up by killing herself. So she constantly wants to kill herself. And on top of that, she wants Cobb to do it with her. She's like, let's play Suicide Drop. That's the game I want to play. But Cobb is like, no. I want to live out a new fantasy by myself. I want to go on a heist. I want to have a heist. What guy doesn't want to be a part of a heist?
To be a part, yeah.
So he sets up a heist, and he does it in such a way that where he sets it up built around the Dream Machine, right? He's like, we'll have a heist, and we'll use the Dream Machine that I invented, and it'll be this cool thing. And all of the other men in the movie are projections of Cobb. They're all aspects of his personality. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, whatever his character's name is, Tom Hardy, Ken Watanabe. They're all aspects of Cobb. They're his heist team. He assembles the heist team. But there's one character who's not a man. There is, what's her name? Ellen Page.
Ellen Page, yes.
Ellen Page is recruited. Ellen Page is Mel.
And she's not a man.
She's not a man. She's a woman.
Okay.
And she represents Mel.
She represents Mel?
She represents Mel.
Okay.
So Mel So Cobb is here, and he's like, I just want to have a dream by myself, with my own homeboys of my creation, and we're just going to play heist game.
Got it.
But Mel wants to play suicide. I want to play suicide drop, she says.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to infiltrate his dream. Because here's the thing. They're connected. He can't get rid of her.
Correct.
He's got her over here. Oh, play your suicide game by yourself. She doesn't want to do that. She wants him to join. And their brains are tied together, so he can't get away from her.
So at this point, like, logic is not even an issue right now. They're just basically
They're just
children.
dreaming,
They're
yeah.
children.
They're children.
Children. Just like, you
They're
want to play
children
with me,
playing games. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop in your game
Yeah,
and you know, like, mess it up.
Because what does Ellen Page do? She goes digging. She goes digging into his subconscious. She brings him to the suicide room.
She does.
She's constantly like, come on, let's play suicide. So like she's the only one who does that. She brings her to Marion, so those are two aspects of Mel's personality.
Gotcha.
Just like all the heist members are. And what I love about this theory is that it's reaching, but the evidence is all there. It's all in the movie. Now, it's not contradictory. Because think about it. He even says to her, he's like, we lived for 500 years and it was great. And you just have to let go. Like, he just wants to get rid of her. And like by the end of the movie, he's decided to stop playing the heist game and to play I'm going to be the perfect single dad game. Right?
Which is when
he decides, I'm going to wake up and I'll play with my kids. And I see my kids now. But you know Mel's coming back. Mel's never going away. So she's going to come back somehow and ruin it.
So you think
she'll be a different person? She'll be something else?
So you think that Inception could just keep going?
Right. Which brings me...
Will they wake up?
Which brings me to my second point.
Will they ever wake up in your vision of these?
I don't know. They're just down there until they'll be vegetables by the time they're done. So they can't handle the time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's forever.
Like the human brain cannot handle like at this point unless you forget.
They're
things.
already there something like 500 years.
It's crazy.
And it's just going to go on. So this brings me to my second theory. Mm-hmm. That all of Nolan's movies fall into the Nolanverse.
The Nolan.
Yeah, you know how like everybody's got a universe, Marvel universe,
the Nolanverse,
the DC universe.
Okay, like universe, the Nolanverse.
Like Tarantino has a universe. All his movies
how would you call Tarantino's universe?
So this is
Tarantinoverse.
Yeah, the Tarantinoverse.
The Tinoverse.
Yeah, the Tinoverse.
The Tinoverse.
Yeah, I like that.
I like the Tinoverse.
Good old Tinoverse.
It's good old, a couple of
So the Nolanverse works in that Inception is the basis. And all the other movies follow onto this. So Interstellar, for example. What does Interstellar do? It plays with the idea of gravity affecting what?
Time.
Affecting time. What happens when you change levels in the dream? Time is affected.
Yes.
Right? It's an idea that Christopher Nolan likes. People living in different times.
Well, I mean, and Memento is about not remembering what happened in other times.
Right. Is losing track of time.
Is losing track of time.
Memento's a really good example because what's her name? Trinity, Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yes. Trinity
is Mel in that movie.
True.
Because she all of a sudden turns against him and starts fucking with him.
Yes.
They're fighting.
Yes.
She's the antagonist. Marion Cotillard is in The Dark Knight Rises and works against him. Gets buddy-buddy.
It's true.
And then turns against him.
It's true.
Right?
So he doesn't. So also he always considers women as the antagonists.
As the antagonist and someone that needs to die. Like in The Prestige, we're not going to spoil The Prestige, but there's a woman.
You're spoiling all the other ones, but not The Prestige.
Yeah. I'm just not going to I'm not going to because not enough people have seen The Prestige.
It's true,
and they should. It's a wonderful movie.
It's true.
But like, there's a woman who dies in the movie and haunts him.
Yeah. Right? The Prestige.
The Prestige. There's always sort of this, the male is tortured in some way by the female. Right?
Does this mean that he had issues with that? Like
we all have issues.
With females?
With females? I think we all have issues with females.
Yeah, I mean...
Including females.
Including females. Females have issues. But they have issues with males, too.
Yeah, everybody has issues with males, too. It goes both ways.
It's true.
Because you could easily do a Mel movie, in which Cobb is the antagonist.
True.
You know?
I mean, he could be...
That's my theory, that they're all connected via
the
Inception. That if you want to, you can... Because, like, things in the Batman universe don't make sense. Right? Like, while you're in the dream, you don't notice how you got somewhere. Gotham is 3 different cities. In each movie, it's a different city. We just kind of go with it. Because it's a dream, baby. We just live in the dream. Care. And, like, who doesn't want to be Batman? Like, he's living out all these, like, crazy fantasies. He's the heist guy. He is a magician in one of them. He's Batman in 3 of them. He's an astronaut. I get to go to the stars.
To another galaxy.
Yeah, even in Memento, he's, like, investigating. You know, he's trying... I think Memento is at the far end, where things have really deteriorated. He just doesn't know what's going on anymore. Because it's, like... the confusion has just reached critical mass, but like Memento is near the end of the line. It's like they're about to
lose it.
They're just about to
lose it, and
they're really close to losing it.
Blank.
Just become
a blank. You just go to sleep and then choose unconsciousness to consciousness, and everything just goes blank.
Go into a vegetative state.
Vegetative state.
They're all like very dreamy ideas and dreamy concepts.
How does this tie to him being a creationist?
I don't know.
Okay,
this is a separate
theory.
This
is completely separate. I'm still trying to figure out.
I told you I had 2 different.
I gotcha.
This one's the Nolanverse, and it's that.
This is the Nolanverse.
It's that all his movies are connected through Inception. That they all are sequels, essentially. To Inception.
They're just dreams. I mean, they are dreams.
In films.
They're films. They're his dreams.
But they are dreamy in a lot of respects.
I mean, that is...
And he set the tone in Inception.
That is definitely... I mean, I see your point. That is definitely like a wild interpretation of Nolan's film. And connecting them all. Because, I'm still in the first and second tier of Inception, in which I just feel that the objective of that movie is to show you that perception is more real than reality, and whatever you choose to believe, it's as real as real.
I've chosen to interpret Inception in a way that it's all dream, and there's no real.
Correct.
So, like, because in the movie there are the real world sections.
Yes, exactly.
But even those have very dreamy elements.
Yeah, exactly.
That chase scene, randomly people start chasing him. He gets stuck in the wall, and there's the white light.
And then he comes out, and then there's the car of Ken Button. Like, how did that?
Super convenient.
Yeah, that's too convenient. That's the only scene. I mean, it's incredible. That movie has so many other crazy things. That's the only scene that makes me feel this is like there's no way this is a random event.
It's so that you don't trust any of it.
Exactly. I think maybe but that's his objective, because I feel that at the end,
because the whole idea of a heist scenario is like
things happen in a convenient way.
These are things that we make movies out of because we want to think that our heist is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like in real life. You part of a heist. There's a good chance
you will die.
You die, or end up in jail.
Something bad will happen to you.
You can't do a heist scot-free.
Exactly. It's not a harmless concept.
No.
There is danger in the heist.
Yeah.
Are we good?
You're at
19 minutes.
Right, well, we're close to
we're close to
this
we're
was
good.
a fun one.
This is I mean, this is the bulk of what it's gonna be. I still feel that perception is more real. Like I still feel that the choice. I still feel that
in general are open to interpretation. That's why I love them.
It's super open to interpretation.
But that's why I love his movies. I could go on about Nolan all day.
I mean,
He's a master.
We could just keep going until we run out of time.
What's the best thing about Nolan as a director?
I mean, from the perspective of a director, not necessarily a perspective of story or perspective or anything, is I like how whenever I catch it, when he chooses an image or a way of telling a story that makes the broader spectrum of the universe being as similar as the smaller one. Because, and let me give you an example, and I'm going back to Interstellar. There is this shot that he has that maybe it's a shot just to show you how big the universe is or something like that. But he has these faraway shots in which he shows you the spaceship that they're going,
tiny.
and then he goes super far out, and then you don't see it unless light hits it, and then you see the blink of it, and he's going from point A to point B, and it's just like it's in a grand scale of the universe in which we are inferior than a microscopic. Like, I think that the universe is so big that we are smaller in comparison to the universe than an atom is smaller in comparison to us.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I'm down with that.
Okay, exactly. Because, I mean, only neurons in our brain as much as suns in our galaxy, and that's only one galaxy. So it means that the universe is more massive than the minimal expression that we can think of. Which means that when he has that shot, and you see this small thing going from one place to another, it's the same thing as saying that a spermatozoid is going to an egg.
Yeah.
You know, it's just life traveling through all this space that has nothing but danger and things that could kill you
broad metaphors.
in order to get somewhere and then be the source of. So I'm thinking that that's what he's doing. The planet is a thing with living things.
You're doing the thing.
Yeah, I'm doing the thing.
Right.
I'm doing the thing. That's what I think. That's what I love about his. Do you see it in recorded movies? He takes
hold this table together.
He takes these things and then tries to explain.
So my favorite thing about him is that he's a master of pacing, and I think that's what makes his movies so mass appeal. Is that they're all paced impeccably.
I know his movies are
You're
original.
never bored. They're long.
He writes
and the
them.
whole time you're in, you're just like he knows when to speed up, when to slow down, like how to ramp up. I always feel like no matter what other criticisms you have against his movies, like you can pick apart the plots of some of them, but like the pacing makes them infinitely watchable.
Would you consider him a versatile director as Steven Spielberg is, for example?
It remains to be seen.
Is what?
He hasn't done as many. It remains to be seen.
And his subjects are usually
I love his
within
movies. They're all
science
things
fiction
that I
or
like. They're all a little bit out there.
yeah.
I mean, Insomnia is pretty cut and dry. It's the most cut and dry of his movies.
I think he has the potential to become versatile. It's just that the interest of his ideas and his movies is more towards.
I just need him to be himself.
I'm just curious if he can do like a horror or straight up like comedy. You know, like
I don't want to see more comedy.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
All right. On that note.
Yeah, let's just
If you enjoyed
Thank you for watching.
If you enjoyed this, please
Tweet
subscribe. Tweet it.
Tweet it to us. Tell us how you think.
Leave a comment. Subscribe. Follow us I am at John in Paradox. This is
at Jose in Paradox.
So you can find us on Twitter. Download us on iTunes. Come back. Hang out with us tomorrow.
Yes.
Until then, auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
All right.